Same two decks of cards. Next card's off the top of the deck. Starting game 2 with Peggy. Peggy, we asked 100 people, have you ever sneaked out of a restaurant without paying the check? How many people admitted they have?
Oh, I think that would be a pretty rotten thing to do and pretty hard to do. And so I would say it's going to be a relatively low number. I would say about 25.
25 out of 100 people have sneaked out.
I agree with the logic Peggy has, but it's a really rotten thing to do, and there's just, no, it's really would be hard to do, so how are you going to do it? I think it's going to be a lower number.
Lower than that. The actual number of people who have sneaked out of a restaurant without paying the check is 21. It is low.
Right.
21 out of 100.
Big card now, big card.
He wants a good card.
Oh, change that card.
Still with an opportunity at a good card.
Woo!
And he got it.
Yes, lower.
Lower than the ace.
I'm going to freeze.
Not going to try to run him.
No, I learned my lesson now.
Steve, the question to you. It's always a temptation, and 10's one of those borderline cards.
It is.
Steve, we asked 100 married women, if a whole month went by without your husband romancing you, would you suspect he was having an affair? How many women said if their husband did not romance them for a month, they would suspect he was having an affair?
Well, that's a tough question. I think it's going to be a middle number because it's, one of those things. You don't have to have sex all the time. I mean, we're in a society, liberation. Sex is okay and no sex is okay. So it's going to be a middle board number.
I prefer the latter, personally.
55.
No, the former, I mean.
Okay, so I say 55.
55. 55 out of 100 said they would suspect he was having an affair.
Well, if I'd gone a whole month, I'd be worried that he was just tired or sick. So I'm going to say it's going to even be lower.
Lower than that. It occurred to me as I was reading the question, I know some people that if they did have it in a month, she'd start thinking that they were having an affair. 55 and lower. The actual number of married women who would suspect their husband was having an affair is 41. You're right, Peggy, it's lower. But 41 out of 100. Peggy, she starts with a 3.
Oh, that's great. I'm going to say higher.
Higher than a 3. A 7.
I'm going to freeze.
Peggy also freezes with a near-middle card. Question 3 to Peggy. Now, in the Soviet Union, an unemployed person has just 130 days to find a job, or else he's labeled a social parasite and shipped off to a labor camp. That's a fact. So we asked 100 Americans, should we have a system like that here? How many Americans said we should have a system that ships people off to labor camps if they don't find a job?
Well, since most people think that people who don't work are living off their own hard-earned taxes, I'd say that about 38 of them would say that we should.
38 out of 100 say we should ship them off to a labor camp if they don't find a job, Steve.
No. I think we live in a liberated society, and people are going to do what they want, and they don't want to be forced to do it, so they're not going to vote in laws like that. So I think that it's going to be an even lower number.
Lower than that. The actual number of Americans who said we should have a system that ships people off to labor camps if they don't find a job is 18. Very much lower.
Change that card.
Now Steve can get rid of that 10, and it becomes a 5.
All right, higher.
Higher than a 5. And 8.
Lower.
Lower than the ace.
Higher.
Going to try to go for it to tie up the match.
Yeah! All right.
Steve ties it up. Each player now, one game.
All right.
Steve adds another $100. That sets up the tiebreaker with just 3 cards up there, 3 questions here. Of course, the bonus for running the cards does not apply in a 3-card game, but it is a very important game. It all comes down. Janice, what are you doing? On your birthday, you're wrecking the set? I'm ashamed of you. That's a you want to sit and hold that? Sure. I mean, listen, it's only valuable network time. Could you put 3 cards up there without breaking anything else? My neck, yes. All right. We start the tiebreaker with a question to Steve. Steve, we asked 100 single women, if you saw a man back down from a fight, would you lose respect for him? How many women said they would lose respect for a man who backed down from a fight?
No, I think that women are going to think that that man's a man in control of himself and his conscience, so that's going to be a low number. It's going to be 15.
15 out of 100 would lose respect, Peggy.
I agree with him totally, and I feel the same way. but I think it's just going to be a little bit higher.
A little higher than that. Tough question that decides control in the tiebreaker. The actual number of single women who would lose respect for a man who backed down from a fight is 8. It is even lower. Steve, absolutely right. And the challenger starts off the tiebreaker with a 10. You can change that or play it, Steve.
If I change the card, can I still pass?
No, we're not in a sudden death situation. You're just playing the cards.
Oh, okay. Change that card, please.
Okay, yes. That's all right. Just check the rules. It's getting pretty close there, Steve.
All right, higher.
Higher than a 4. A king.
Lower.
I'm sure Steve knows this. If this is lower, he is the new champion. No.
Oh, no.
It had to be lower against an opponent. A break for Peggy. She's still in it with a 4.
Higher.
Higher than a 4. No.
Oh, my goodness.
I get another chance.
Janice will fill in the spaces. Peggy, we asked 100 Catholic priests, is it okay to pray for money? How many priests think it is okay to pray for money?
I think that they think that you should pray for other things, though, that are more... Oh.
But how many say it's okay
anyway,
to pray
I'm sorry.
for money?
I think that about 22 of them would say that...
22 out of 100 Catholic priests said it's okay to pray for money, Steve.
No, I don't think that it is okay, and I don't think the priests are going to think it's okay, and it's going to be a lower number.
Lower number. You may be right. I know you play bingo for money. Pray. 22 and lower. The actual number of priests who think it's okay to pray for money is 93. I guess it's as valid as anything else to pray for. Peggy, you're looking at a 4.
Okay, I'm going to say higher.
Higher than a 4. Oh, no!
Again.
Steve, a free chance
All right,
for a 4.
higher.
Higher than a 4. Oh, no! And now, just what Steve was talking about has come about. We are at sudden death in the tiebreaker down to the wire. We'll quickly get into it. Steve, we surveyed 100 Englishmen who are dukes, barons, and earls. These men are all members of the English aristocracy. And we asked them, have you ever had dinner at Buckingham Palace? How many English aristocrats have had dinner at Buckingham Palace?
That's got to be quite a thing to do, and, it's going to be a very low number. It's going to be 17.
Only 17 out of 100 have had dinner at Buckingham Palace.
I think that with... since they are earls and baronets and things like that, that they would have an occasion to go to Buckingham Palace. I'm going to say it's going to be higher.
Higher than that. The actual number of English aristocrats who have had dinner at Buckingham Palace is 59. Peggy's right.
Okay.
Peggy, now we are in sudden death in the tiebreaker where you, with control, can play it for 2 cards or pass it to Steve for 2.
Oh. I think I'm going to play it.
You're going to play it. Are you going to play it with a 4 or are you going to change it?
I'm going to keep the 4 and go higher.
Now, you've got to get them both. One mistake, Steve is a champion. Get them both, and Peggy goes back for the big money. A big call. Higher, she says. It is a 5.
Higher.
Now, the last card for the championship. Yes! Peggy wins it. And we have to say goodbye to Steve. Steve, a great match. Down to the wire. You're leaving us with $600.
Yeah.
Peggy, come on down here with me. I'm taking the set with me so Janice doesn't cause any more mischief, and we'll be right back right after this. We've already played the money cards once, so after Peggy cut them, they've been dealt out in front of the studio audience. Good luck. Here's $200. And we'll see if we can start Peggy off with a goodie. Thank you, Lois. 200 and a jack.
Okay, I'm going to get all of it lower.
Playing the jack and $200 lower. No. But you're on your own now. You don't lose with that. You still have 200 and a jack.
Okay, I'm going to still get all of it lower.
All of it again lower. And this time she's
All
right.
right.
400 and a 3.
All of it higher.
Trying for $800 higher. Yes.
Okay.
Up goes the 10. We add another 200. You have $1,000.
I want to change that card.
And the 10 becomes, well, a 6. 1,000 and a 6.
Okay, I'm going to get 500 higher.
Half of it, $500 higher. Yes, it
All
is.
right, all of it lower.
3,000 if it's lower, and it is.
All right, I'm going to get 1,000 lower.
$1,000 on a middle card lower. No. Oh, if you had held back another ace, but nevertheless, $2,000 in the best card in the deck.
Lower.
4,000 if this is lower than an ace. Yes.
Okay.
$4,000 for Peggy Card. Another big win, and we'll be right back with Peggy right after this.
Stick around. Bigger battles than Thanksgiving dinner are up next on the Best of Family Feud. Then it's the hottest game in town, Hollywood Showdown, followed by Match Game PM.
This is Jack Narz speaking for Card Sharks, a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production.